All right, everybody. I'm so glad that y'all got to join us tonight. Thank y'all for giving us your time. And thank you, Jennifer, for coming on. Okay, so Jennifer has won my heart because she is such a boss and a beast in the gym. Okay. She and I are similar in age, and she's a grandma. She's a mama to five, grandmommy to four. Yeah, Mimi to four. Beautiful grandkids. Here's a little bit about her. First of all, if you don't know who she is she is a field development manager. She's for us, so she's out in the field. She coaches us and gives us all kinds of cool insight and helps us think through strategies. She's been traveling. She'll have to tell us about that, about all of your, everywhere you've been this summer. I'll just let you tell us about that. She's a former track coach. Currently, she's working on a women's longevity program with a couple of friends who are physical therapists. So they're in the middle of getting that curriculum organized. But she's been into fitness for 18 years, nutrition, also into nutrition, wellness, and then 11 years in the network marketing space. She's passionate about empowering women to step into their power of being themselves while creating and living a purpose-driven life filled with joy, fun, and happiness. She loves spending her free time lifting weights with her family, hiking, backpacking, roller skating, boating, and fishing. And she loves coffee, sparkling mineral water, and sourdough and plants, or her love language. Anyway, I am so excited to welcome Jennifer Thomas to our call. And I just want you to share with us a little bit about what you've been doing this summer, because not everybody is aware of what you've been doing. And then we can kind of move into what we were going to talk about tonight. So take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. And all of you who are here on the call, I just want to thank you for making the time, taking the time to show up for yourself, for your business, for your families, because it's really hard to fit everything in and show up again in the evening time. And so means a lot to me seeing you here because that means you are eager and ready and wanting more out of life and are willing to do what it takes to create a life worth living and filling it with joy and happiness. So this summer has been an absolute blast. Kind of a whirlwind a little bit with a number of places that I was able to travel to, meet lots of ambassadors who are out there changing lives, and just talk about the business opportunity here with Plexus, as well as our products. And, our products are married with the opportunity. You can't have one without the other, and just how now is the time for you to really dig in and get your business going. But most importantly, I want you to be excited about building your business. I want you to look forward to every single day wanting to do this filled with joy and happiness, because that's what life is about, creating as much joy and happiness that you can live intentionally and create that. And that's what Plexus is kind of here to help you do. The founders are very much wanting you to find happiness and joy in life and create a life that you want to live filled with abundance and get out of not being able to make choices because of money, not being able to make choices because your health is in poor and you just are having to make choices because it's the only choice you have. So really spending the time this summer talking about that, and how this gut health space is on the rise. Yeah, we've been around for 18 plus years and we have over 25 plus products to help people with lots of different things regarding their gut microbiome, which one of them is weight management. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. So that's kind of what I've been up to this summer.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of start this off with kind of asking her some questions because I think that might help it flow a little bit better. And then at the end, we're going to have a Q&A for all of you guys. So hold on. If you have any questions as she goes, please save them. And I'd love to have her help us answer them, because whenever I met with Jennifer a couple weeks ago for my personal business, I know she is very much into the whole fitness space and muscle building and like fat loss, and all that is just part of what she already has been doing before she ever came to Plexus. And so I confided in her that I struggle in my business to share about weight loss. And the reason why and I'm just going to be vulnerable here because I think some of my thoughts may resonate with some of y'all. I said, I struggle with it because I know in my fitness efforts, it's not just as simple as taking the tools. I mean, you have to be in a calorie deficit. You have to be moving your body. You have to be changing your lifestyle, And I said, so I feel like I don't like promoting the products for weight loss because I know that there's more to it. And I struggle to convey that to my audience. And she just, it was just like a very simple, she just came back with some things that are very practical, things that a lot of us already know, but I love just the way that you worded it, Jennifer, and how you said, but it's not just a calorie deficit. Our products help with X, Y, and Z basically, and it fits that piece of the puzzle for so many people. So could you just maybe elaborate and kind of give us confidence in how we promote the products, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Sure. Thank you for that. Yes. So I would like for you guys to think about weight loss in a separate manner, maybe, and think about it in terms of weight management, because I feel like people are focused on a number of the scale, and you can lose weight and have it not actually be fat. You can lose weight that is inflammation. You can lose weight that is water, and you can lose weight that is muscle loss, which is what we really want to help people avoid, is losing muscle while they are in the process of managing their weight and getting to a level or getting to a number that is healthy for them and their body type, right? And so, as a brand ambassador, as a Plexus business owner, it is important to remember as you're sharing this opportunity for weight management that includes fat loss and weight loss, that, like Andrea said, it isn't just a matter of taking a magic pill or drink of Plexus and changing nothing else. And so, as you're talking to people and getting to know them, and they have mentioned or you've asked them if they are interested in getting healthier, it's just a matter of asking more questions for understanding. If somebody were to come to me and say, I have heard a lot about Plexus, or I've been talking to you about Plexus, and I'm interested because I need to lose 75 pounds. I've been carrying it around, and I would reply with, tell me more about the need to lose 75 pounds. I know why they would need to. I want them to share with me why they think they need to lose the 75 pounds. Then I would listen to what they had to say about the 75 pounds, why they needed that weight loss, and then it would be okay. So once you lose that 75 pounds, what is that going to mean for your life? How is that going to impact you personally? How is that going to change your family's life? Tell me more about what the weight loss is going to do for you, on top of you shared you're going to get off your medication, you shared you are going to have more energy and you're going to sleep better. Share with me what the real impact is going to be. And a lot of times you'll get the real deeper understanding of what the impact is going to be, which is very key to them being able to stay on our products and be consistent over time for the naturally low fat loss we are looking for, so that they, when they are looking to lose 20 pounds in the first month, which we know isn't healthy, which is why we're here with these products to show people and help them understand that they didn't gain 20 pounds in a month. So they can't expect to lose it in 20 pounds in a month. And yet there are things out there that are currently helping people do that. And so asking those questions for what it would mean to them. And then once you get that understanding, say, what would it look like if you knew it was going to take a little bit longer time to get to this goal? How do you feel about that? And then you get to hear what they have to say, really what the impact means to them, because the race between the tortoise and the hare, who wins every single time? It's always the tortoise, right? The slow and steady, consistent step after step after step wins the race every single time. And so it's the same thing when talking about weight management, right? People gain weight at a slow and steady pace over time. And the healthiest way to lose weight is a slow and steady pace over time, so that your skin also can adapt to the changing. And so you don't end up with a bunch of loose, saggy skin. Are people going to still have loose and saggy skin? Potentially, yes, depending on their genetics, but giving their body time to adjust, giving themselves to adjust and realize that they are going to be losing fat instead of muscle. Because oftentimes what happens when people change and they go into a drastic calorie deficit, um, your body still needs protein every single day in order to exist and live, eat, or to breathe, to pump your blood. All the things that run your body all require protein. That's why we eat protein. It's to build muscle, and our biggest muscles are not just our muscles that we use to move, but they are our heart, they are our brain, they are our lungs. And so our bodies need those every single day. And if we go into a calorie deficit that has less protein, then our body is going to pull from our muscles to use to ensure the rest of our organs are properly running. And so that happens often when people lose a lot of weight quickly, is they actually are losing more muscle than fat. And so if you can ask questions for understanding, and help them understand that they didn't gain the weight, and help them understand, oh, the impact of me losing this weight is going to be more than just a number on a scale. Then when you are following up with them with customer care, which we'll get into in a minute, it's going to be easier because you'll have so much information that when they're struggling, you can really validate their struggles and also remind them, hey, remember you said you X, Y, and Z was super important to you with this weight loss. This was what's going to happen. Is that still something that we're looking at achieving? Right. Also, with the weight management, I talked about you can lose weight that is also in the form of inflammation, right? That is something that we focus on here because people are inflamed because of food choices, because of allergies, because of all sorts of things. We have inflammation. And so, yes, some people might have a drastic loss in pounds because they are so inflamed. Along with that, they could also be having some die-off symptoms, negative symptoms from their body getting rid of some of the toxins in their body. They could have some symptoms because they're getting rid of some overgrowth of bacteria. And so that customer care, meaning that you need to be following up with your new people every single week for the first month minimum. And then after the first month, the customer care into the second and third month is at least a couple of times, give or take, depending on their situation, while also making sure that you are boundaried with your time as a business owner so that you're not an open book 24/7 for everybody to contact you, because that's not how business owners run businesses successfully, right? But you do want to make sure that you're available and that you're following up with your customers once they said yes, because that is the great thing about this business model, is that you have an opportunity to help people change their life in a support system and helping them understand what's happening in their body versus them just going to Walmart, Target, Costco, buying some lesser product for one, but then there's no support system, nobody to talk to. So as you're getting these people who are ready to make a change in their life, making sure that you ask them, hey, I want to support you the best way that I can. In the following weeks, is it best for me to send you a text? Do you want a 5-minute phone call, a 5-minute Zoom? What is the best way for me to support you in the following weeks so that we can ensure that you're having success with using our products and getting the results that you're looking for? That way, upfront, you know exactly what they need, and you're not just guessing and sending them a text when they don't have time for a text or they really need to talk to you on the phone. Or you call them and they really wanted a text. It's just a simple question that you can ask at the beginning that will help you with that customer care. And the customer care really goes a long way with getting people results. And if people are getting results, you're going to have that retention because they're going to want to stick around for getting the results that they're looking for. And all those questions that you had at the beginning, you can continue to circle back to remind them on the days or weeks that they're having struggles. Does that make sense? And yes, we're focused on weight loss, but focusing on weight management, because ultimately, isn't that what we're doing? We're helping people manage their weight. Weight loss is I'm going to get to a goal and I'm done. And now I don't need Plexus. And it's like, okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to go back to the way you were living before? Do you want to go back to how you were feeling before? Or do you want to keep feeling the way that you're feeling now? It's like, I'm going to take a multivitamin for 30 days and then I'm going to stop because I feel great. No, we all know that we're going to start feeling horrible again because we're deficient in some of those vitamins. So it's the same thing with Plexus. However, we might adjust your dosage or what you're taking depending on your needs as they change with your weight management, going into overall wellness to have your body run efficiently and smoothly, because we know that our products don't take the place of our body's ability to do something. Our products help our bodies run efficiently, which is something that I love about our products, is that we are not replacing something that our body can do for itself. We're simply enhancing our body's ability to do what it's supposed to be doing, that it hasn't been doing because of inflammation, because of lack of nutrients. And along, with the weight management, a lot of times I think you guys have probably experienced people who are like, I'm eating right, I'm exercising, I'm doing all the things, I'm in a calorie deficit, and the scale isn't budging.
Mhm.
Anybody experience that from people,
Yeah. Mhm.
right?
Yes.
A lot of things can happen because of that. Because if your body is in a state of stress, it's going to hold on to things, right? And it can get inflamed because of stress, that we know. And so the scale isn't going to move. If they are in a calorie deficit and starting to lift weights, and they didn't measure themselves and they didn't take any photos, the scale could also not move because they have put on muscle while they lost fat, and muscle weighs a lot more than fat. However, if they didn't know to measure themselves and they can't see the scale moving, we get heavily focused on the scale. And so while the scale is one measurement of success, or, I like to have them focus on their measurements. How are they feeling? How are they sleeping? How is their energy? How is their mood? Those are all things that are tied to weight management, and Plexus products are tied to improving all of those areas. And as a customer care, when somebody says, I am doing all the things and I'm taking them consistently, I would say, tell me more about consistently. Please share what your day looks like in taking the Plexus products that you ordered, and then let them tell you. A lot of times I hear people say, yeah, I'm consistent. And I ask for more, and then they share, well, I take them like, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm really good. I get them all in. And then I kind of don't take them on Thursday. I forget. I might take one. And then the weekend comes and and I'm like, okay, so do you think that's consistent in taking the product? Tell me how you think that's consistent. And they say, it's not. But earlier they thought it was because they were consistent for 3 or 4 out of the 7 days. So asking those open-ended questions gives you a lot of information. If you say, are you sleeping better? They're going to say no because they haven't noticed the small changes. If you say, tell me about your sleep, I know that at the beginning you were struggling with X, Y, and Z. Tell me how your sleep's been this week. Then they have to really think about it. And 9 out of 10 times people come back and say, you know what? The last 2 nights I haven't woken up. But the previous 5 nights they had. And so 5 is more than 2. So they always go to, it hasn't improved. But if you ask the open question of how is your sleep been, right? Especially if they're not having results on the scale. You were telling me that you were having a hard time staying awake past 4 o'clock. You needed a nap. Share with me what that looked like this week. How is your energy improved? And then let them listen. And then make adjustments to whatever it is that they're taking as needed. If they're having some symptoms, you may have to half the dose. Or does that make sense? But I really feel like really sharing about weight management in the form of fat loss and building muscle really sets people up for success for the long haul and gets them committed to sticking with the products to get the results they need over time with consistency versus looking for the magic pill. We don't sell a magic pill. And people do like to say, I can just take the Plexus products and lose weight. I don't have to change anything that I'm doing. What ends up happening is if you're eating all those toxic foods, you're going to feel really, really sick with our products because you're continuing to feed the bad things into your diet, and then the die-off symptoms can increase, or it can maybe not even keep up. And so there will be no changes. So important to talk about weight management as getting their goals. What are they looking to achieve? What's worked in the past? What hasn't worked in the past? And then, hey, let's come up with a plan together. What would it look like if we started you with these products? We increased your water intake and we add things in and we don't talk about taking things away. How would that make somebody feel if they didn't have to like stop doing something? Because what I know and the people that I've worked with in the mindset shift that you've probably seen yourself, as soon as you tell yourself you can't have something, all you want is something you can't have. And then we're labeling food as good and bad and giving it some sort of moral value when food is food is food. Yes, some food is super nutritious and going to give you the nutrients and energy that you need. And some food is going to not give you the nutrients, but it's still going to provide energy, maybe just not the best kind, right? So getting them to put things into their diet will naturally push out the things they shouldn't be eating. And then you can talk about adding in more things as their taste buds change by taking the product, as their gut starts to heal, and just really talking through that process and getting at least a 3-month commitment from people because it's going to take 3 to 6 months really for them to see probably the success they're looking for in that weight management area. Did that answer it, Andrea?
Yes, yes, it did. I was you were covering all the bases. And the one thing I wanted to ask you two more things to just maybe tag on. So one of the things you had mentioned to me, because I said, I'm coming from a space of trying to attract my ideal client, and she's in menopause, but she's already working out and she's already making good food choices, or changing her eating. Let's just say that. She may not be tracking calories, but some are, but they're sometimes still struggling to lose the weight. And what I loved was you explained how these products kind of like pinpoint each of the issues that people tend to have the older they get, as far as with hormone shifts, the gut health, the cortisol, the poor sleep. Like, you kind of packaged it really nicely. I don't know, whenever you explained it to me, you kind of touched on it. Can you kind of like paraphrase
Sure.
that a little bit? Okay.
Sure. Yeah. So I think basically what we talked about was that all of our neurotransmitters, which are things like GABA, serotonin, all of those things, dopamine, they reside in our gut. And they need to get to our brain, which is where our brain utilizes them to do the things that it needs to do in our body. And so if our gut microbiome is off, then it's going to disrupt all of those things, as well as hormones, right? If our liver is having a hard time detoxing, then that can also affect hormones. And so our ingredients, we have a patent ingredient. If we are not sharing about our patented ingredient that is proven to help glucose levels, which we know that glucose levels really are a determining factor for people looking for weight management. If you're having glucose spikes, your body is going to retain fat in certain areas of your body, right? Insulin spikes, same thing. And then you're not feeling so good because you're having highs and lows. And so our products can support our systems with glucose management. That patented ingredient can only be purchased through Plexus right now. There is in the Go app, there is a video with Dr. Hartman where he specifically goes over that. And I can send that to you, Andrea, if you wanted that, and you can share with the rest of the team. There are several videos that I think you guys would find helpful that are super short, where you have the scientist really speaking to it specifically sharing how this can help. But really, those neurotransmitters, if the gut microbiome is off and out of balance, they don't make it to the brain. And so therefore people are affected by their moods are affected, their sleep cycle, their sleep wake cycle is affected, their energy is affected because those neurotransmitters regulate all of those things. And so while we can't say our products cure X, Y, and Z, they help our bodies regulate these specific symptoms that occur in our gut microbiome getting transferred to the brain. I know that Dr. Hartman also has another video about the gut brain axis. That would be super good for you all to watch and then be able to share that with people who are having more questions that you feel maybe you can't answer, if that makes sense. Is that how I answered it last time, Andrea?
Yes, that's exactly what you asked or what you answered in the exact same way. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on that is kind of like hot topics.
Okay.
So I might be putting you on the spot, but hopefully not. So obviously we promote it like a GLP-1 helper. And
Mhm.
then also everybody's talking about cortisol cocktails, cortisol this, cortisol help. How would you speak to those two things as far as could we promote our products?
Okay. I don't have the answer for how you can promote specifically with those things because I'm not in compliance. But what I
Okay.
know is that GLP-1 is something that naturally occurs in our bodies. We have it. That's what we have in our body. It's been determined that we have that. And so now we have this synthetic form that is being offered in the name of lots of different names, right? Promoted initially in 2011 for people who have type 2 diabetes. That it's been used since 2011. And I would say from 2011 to 2024, obesity has not decreased over that time span. It hasn't decreased. I don't have the exact numbers, but I know that it hasn't decreased. And so I know that those drugs haven't really been helping people long term because nothing drastic has changed from 2011 2013. It is a synthetic form that is now coming in and taking the place, right? There has been a lot of studies done where it actually does cause your body to lose muscle first. You can look it up and get the science behind that. I did a training with a scientist prior to coming here, but I'm not a scientist to speak to that. But I do know that the studies show that muscle loss is the first thing to go with that. The difference with our products is, remember what I said earlier, our products are designed to come in and fill in the gaps of nutrients that our body has been missing and help get rid of things that are causing inflammation, toxins, so that our body can run optimally. So it's helping our body then produce the GLP-1 that we need to assist ourselves with running smoothly instead of having this weight loss, which is weight loss. It's exactly what it is in the form of muscle first. The science also has shown that the muscle coming back on is harder to put back on once it's lost using the GLP-1 injections. Now, I'm not saying that's across the board for every single person, but the data has shown that that is it. I'm not speaking as an expert at that. I'm saying go do your research. That's the research I have found. That's the information that I've been a part of. Um, and so I wouldn't necessarily share that per se, but I would say that our products can support our own bodies in the GLP-1 and helping manage glucose, helping manage the cortisol spikes. Cortisol spikes are because of insulin sensitivity. Insulin sensitivity happens for a lot of things. But please, please, please remember, you are not doctors. I am not a doctor. And so we cannot say it's going to do X, Y, and Z. I promise it's going to do this and that and the other. I would always defer to Dr. Hartman's videos and use them to share so that they understand really what they're signing up for because he does a fantastic job and he has the data and he provides it in his videos for people who have those questions.
Okay.
Again, we're not selling a magic pill. We're selling these are supplements that can help your body run optimally, and help alleviate symptoms that you're having.
That's good. Thank you. That very, very helpful. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to open it up to the team. Just, unmute yourself if you have any questions for Jennifer, anything at all.
What are some issues that you guys have run into when you're talking with people about weight loss or weight management with Plexus products? What are some
I
of
have a question.
okay.
Um, so we have like a bunch of different products that could help with weight loss.
Uh-huh.
Do you tend to like choose one combo you just always recommend and kind of be like, well, we'll just kind of change things up if we need to? Or do you really try to super customize for each person? Does that make sense? That sometimes where I can get, or I'm like, oh, you want to lose weight? Well, here's all these things. So I was kind of curious your take. And especially as like I have a team that's growing right now, I want to make it as simple and easy for them as possible.
So a couple of things I would say. Plexus has put together some packages because have shown to help people with weight management, right? They have packages that have been put together to show to help with weight loss, to help with weight management, to help with overall wellness. And so the experts have come together and put these packages together for a reason because they work. So I would make sure that as I'm talking with people, really asking those questions for what they're looking for and what they need. Because we do have like the triplex, right? Which is the OG that we know is going to work for a lot of different things that can get them started, but maybe they need some afternoon energy. And are they looking for to expedite their fat loss? Then I might want to be giving something like Metaburn. If they struggle, they know they have problems with processing carbs, or they know that they would like some assistance in delaying, maybe I would talk to them about block or balance, right? And the difference between block and balance is that block's going to have the chromium and a couple of different ingredients that balance isn't going to do. So if they are having two pink drinks, I probably would have them start on balance because it's not going to have the extra chromium, right? And it's going to have some different ingredients to give them a more well-rounded approach. If they are again, the Metaburn for fat loss, I would just ask questions, or maybe you have gotten some information from them and you can suggest, hey, this is what a lot of people get started on. It's proven to do X, Y, Z. How do you feel about that? In addition, I know you mentioned that you struggle with sleep. So maybe we could get you started with this and choose something from our sleep products, right? Or you have a slump in the afternoon. Would you like to add this? I know a lot of ambassadors add ease to the triplex because ease really speeds up that inflammation loss right out of the gate. And so it gives wins instantly for people in two different ways. They are getting rid of inflammation and they feel it, but more importantly, they see it in their face. They see the inflammation. And then it's just getting rid of that inflammation a little bit quicker in a nicer way with an added supplement. So just asking those questions up front so that you're not just resorting to what's easiest to sell that might not be the only thing they need or might not even be what they need, but really trying to meet them where they are using the packages that we already have put together that have been proven to support our bodies in the goals that people want to have. Does that make sense, Diana?
I just want to speak to that real quick because I know for me, I know what she's saying. It's like you have a lot of people and they're all wanting, you're wanting to keep everything streamlined, but in the end, we have to talk to each individual person. Like, like what, you know, I know, like I was thinking a lot of women right now I'm talking to that are in menopause or perimenopause who are having poor sleep, poor digestion, they're tired all the time, their cravings are out off the wall, you know, and they just can't make good choices. Like for me, the triplex and trim really is kind of like the best all around package because I know for me, Restore was really pivotal in helping me get better sleep as a menopausal woman. And so I know for me, like I think through those kind of things and then and it's just about, like you said, troubleshooting, like what is what is like stumbling them every day? Is it their fatigue, their poor sleep, you know, um, like you said. And so it is like so hard to just make it simple. I mean, obviously, if we just said everybody get on reset and triplex, that would be easy, right? Um, but it's not always the answer. So
I do think that like you said, and like I said, getting to know what they really need to get them started and using the packages that we already have created for them, but then seeing what else they could get started with to get the results they're looking for in a quicker manner, potentially helping speed up the process a little bit, or maybe they just need a little extra help because they have been so unhealthy for so long.
I
very
have a
And
good.
quick
not being afraid to
question.
ask, because if they don't know it's available because you didn't ask, they don't have the opportunity to say yes or no, I don't want to try that.
Yeah. Quick question.
Okay.
Earlier, how are you?
Good. How are you, Melissa? Good to see you.
Good. Earlier, whenever you were just giving Diana her answer and you were like basically um, making it towards that person, something that you said, do you have a hard time processing carbs? I've never, like, how does a person know if they have a hard time processing carbs? Are you looking at metabolism? Like, I've
Yeah,
never,
or people who know that they have insulin spikes, or they know they have insulin resistance, or they're type 2 diabetic.
so it would be those people. Okay,
Correct.
thank you. I'm
Yes.
like,
Great,
what? That's not
great,
normal.
great, great, great question.
Okay,
Or a
thank
lot of times people, Dr. Hartman has a really great video on this because people are like, I love carbs, but I know I shouldn't be eating them. I think carbs get a bad name because carbs are essential. That's how we get energy, used for lots of different things in our bodies. But we've just been overeating carbs and under eating protein, which is why I think they've gotten a bad rap. But I do think, and he's just like, people are like, hey, I just need help with carbs because I love them so much and I want to slow
right.
the spikes into the bloodstream, right? Where you're getting this super high and then you crash from a sugar crash.
Mhm.
That's what the balance would also help with. But he's like, or you can just also just eat less carbs.
Yeah, well, whenever you said that, I was like, okay, are you talking about somebody that just loves carbs? Whenever you said processing carbs, but you were really talking about more the medical side of somebody with insulin spikes or
Yeah, and
diabetes.
I meant both of them, and
Okay.
thank you for clarifying that
Yeah,
because
thank you. Because yeah,
um,
there's a huge difference between the two. Yeah.
yes. And like I said, we are not medical doctors. You are not medical doctors. We can't treat or diagnose. But if
Mhm.
people know that their body doesn't do well with carbs and they have lots of spikes when they eat them, or they have the insulin
Mhm.
resistance, this could help them. We can't say it's going to cure them. It could
Right.
help them. It could help them improve. But if people just want to ensure that they don't have the spikes of blood sugar from eating carbs, balance is something that you could give them to stop those spikes. Great, 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 great question. Thank you for clarifying that for me, Melissa.
Anybody else? Anything she said? Anybody? Anybody like me, like you held back in promoting the products for weight loss? Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
I
feel
never have promoted it that way personally. Just I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and like re-type up and write the way that you said it, Jennifer. I just don't do it. I would rather talk about systems of how to have a healthy lifestyle. That's just me personally. And so many people have issues around weight. So it keeps me from having a weight loss conversation because of body image issues. Or as soon as you have a weight loss conversation, people are like, so you think I'm fat? I
Oh,
mean, so I would rather talk. I've always leaned on the healthy lifestyle for longevity versus weight loss. But I love how you shared it the way that you shared it. And I love the words weight management over weight
Mhm.
loss. So that was huge for me to hear it like that.
and I would say that if you are like, I love how you're promoting Plexus because that really is what Plexus is about,
Mhm.
right? However, if you have somebody who is struggling with weight, and they're not hearing what you're saying. They don't even know what management of like wellness. They don't even have any idea what wellness looks like because they're just over here focused on weight loss. We can bridge that gap a little bit with talking about weight management that will improve the overall wellness without talking about weight loss, because here's the thing. Our products help you get to the level that you need to be. If you need to lose weight, it will help you lose weight. If you need to gain weight, the same products will help you gain weight. And I'm sure some of you have heard those stories. I know of a couple of ambassadors who started the triplex and it came and they were like, Slim, I don't need to lose weight. I'm taking this to gain weight. But what it did was it helped them and help their body get back to that homeostasis level. And they were able to put on some healthy weight, while at the same time, her sister, who needed to lose weight, was able to lose that weight and have some weight management. And so, yeah, I don't necessarily like to talk about weight loss either. I know a lot of people are focused on that. I just like weight management. Plexus likes to use weight management because that's basically what you're doing. And there's not an end goal and then you're done. And then you don't know what to do after that, right? It's the weight management that then leads into that complete wellness. But it's so foreign to people who need it that they don't understand what wellness means.
That's so good. Thank you. That was perfect.
I think too, like, I think one of the cool things is that everybody has like their niche, you know what I mean? And I think that overall, like, absolutely, it's all about root healing and it's all about looking at the long term and listen, this is something that I plan on taking forever to maintain what I've done. But like, for me, as someone who's lost 150 pounds, that's a lot of my audience.
Oh, for sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's the thing. Like I tend to do the flip. I think I talk so much about weight loss because it's what my journey is versus like being in menopause or weight lift or like whatever it is. So I think sometimes I do the products a disservice by not talking about the other things they do because I'm so focused on where I'm at with the products.
So listen, here's the fun fact is that you are most qualified to help the person that you used to be, right? So I think the fact that you did have this massive success with your weight loss and weight management, that's your story. That's your journey. Why wouldn't you be sharing that? You're trying to reach people. Your excitement and passion about what the products did for you is what's inspiring other people to want to join you so that they can have that same success. So, yes, keep doing what you're doing. If you wanted to authentically, you feel sharing about along with this weight loss and weight management, X, Y, and Z could be improved, by all means, do so. But I don't want you to walk away from this call thinking that you need to change everything that you're doing when you're having success and it's your story and your journey. Does that make sense?
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, it does. And I think one of the things I wanted to emphasize is whether or not we promote this as weight management, weight loss personally. I think the bottom line is we will have people that reach out to us at some point that want weight loss or weight, regardless of how we're, because I know it happens to me a lot. And I think this was just more to like equip us better to promote the products properly, and not as a quick fix, but to be able to like explain better in layman's terms how the products are going to support the body to become well and release the toxins, release the inflammation, all the things that she already discussed. So that really was the purpose of this, in a realistic way,
Yes. And just like really being you and showing up authentically as you and sharing what feels good to you, while also learning if there's something else that speaks to you and to your heart that you want to share and help people with, that you have the tools to do that. But ultimately, like I said, I really just, your excitement and passion about the products, about the business model, how it has changed your life is what really helps people see that they need this, they want this, and that they can do it too and have the same success you're having. It's really that is what helps people as business owners, that really being that friend and that caring person and being interested in the other person and wanting them to have the same success you've had is what is attracting. That's like a magnet that you're able to put out there. And so really, you have to be you and not anybody else. You cannot show up and be like somebody else. Even if somebody else has a great business and they're a great ambassador and they run their business different than you, they're not you. They're not you. And you are you, and you are your biggest superpower. And people are looking for you and your help and what you have to offer. And so don't forget that. One of my favorite quotes of all time is an original is worth more than a copy.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you be a copy of another ambassador? Why? It's so tiring to try to show up as somebody else and be and know what to say. And somebody's expecting me to say this, so I better do that, when you can just show up as yourself
Mm-hmm.
because you're an original. Nobody like you. That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah. And easy. Easy to do that because you're yourself.
Totally easy to just be yourself. Easiest thing to do.
Thank
I've
you.
tried to not be myself and I hate every second of it. I'm like, this is not me and I'm tired and I just want to run and crawl in a hole.
So much more natural that way. All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Is anybody else before we head out for the night? I want to respect everybody's time.
Yes. Thank you for showing up.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Jennifer. I hope you
Thank
have
you,
a good night.
Thank
Sleep.
you.
Tyler, I'm like, where did he go? He's moving
Yes,
around.
there he is. All right. You
Thanks for
guys
being
have, thank you. Have a blessed
Bye.
night. Talk to you
Yes.
later.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.